Good evening and welcome to our partners and friends who are here tonight to help us celebrate the final phase of the district's master plan for facilities. Later on tonight's agenda, Mr. Bowling, our board president, will publicly introduce people and acknowledge the vision, the leadership of the many who made tonight possible. But it's my pleasure tonight to introduce not just the completion of the new Hamilton High School, but also the new principal of Hamilton High, Mr. Doug Leiss.
Hello, thank you for attending this evening's dedication of Hamilton High School. This has been a day that we've all looked forward to, and we appreciate your attendance during this very special event. My name is Doug Leiss. I'm the principal here at Hamilton High, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a few people who've put this event together. A special thanks goes out to Joni Kopis, Lauren Sprague, and Mike Burns for planning this ceremony. Thank you to our custodial staff that has prepared the building not only for this dedication, but each and every day to make sure this place looks in tip-top shape. The most impressive attribute of this wonderful facility, though, happens to be the students inside it. Without further ado, I would like to ask you to please stand, if you are able, as one of our junior students, Hannah Jones, sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Look around. A dream come true, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is drawing to a close tonight. And it's a real occasion for all of us here in our community to celebrate. Tonight takes me back about 16 years in my superintendency. And it all started with a field trip to Lakota to see their new school that they had just built. Innocent enough, I thought. I'd love to tell you that what I saw, I didn't come away envious, but it wouldn't be truthful, because deep down, secretly, I was a little bit. So thoughts began to race through my mind, like, don't Hamilton students deserve to attend school in new and amazing facilities? Wouldn't our students love to be able to eat in a cafeteria or cafetorium that had a food court feel, and take their academic classes and study in state-of-the-art classrooms, complete with air conditioning in the summer? Or what about participating in sports in a modern gymnasium? But back then, it didn't really seem to be in the cards for our students. That's when I began to think about how we as a community might do better for our students and give our students the same advantage as those other students in Butler County. Enter the passage of the 1999 and 2006 bond issues and our partnership with the Ohio School Facilities Commission. Tonight, we're standing here 16 years later, not just with one or two new buildings, but with a totally renovated and brand new district. very, very impressive. The cycle of new schools for us has come full circle, and now we're the ones that people are visiting, we're the ones that are getting a lot of attention, and now we're the ones, I'm sure, that are the envy of all. So tonight we gather here, not just as a school district, but as a community, and we pause to celebrate a truly impressive and unparalleled accomplishment. I stand here telling you that this accomplishment would not have been possible without the vision, strong leadership, the courage to step out and take a risk and believe in a dream, and the perseverance of our Board of Education. Because a comprehensive building program like we undertook, spanning well over a decade, was not a job for a lesser board or community. So I know that you join me tonight in gratitude and thanks for the time, the energy, and the talent of both our current and past boards who shared in a dream and who helped bring this to a reality tonight. Please join me in thanking them for their leadership. Mr. Bowling, our board president.
Thanks, Janet. On behalf of the Board of Education, we want to welcome you here tonight and thank you for coming. Let me introduce our board members. Glenn Stissinger, George Johnson, Anna Harvey, Steve Kruger.
Scott.
Did I say Steve? Sorry about that. That's how old I am, I guess. Scott's a new board member this year, and we welcome him in. This has been a long, long journey. The debate goes on of when we actually started, but it was 1997, basically. We started, and maybe even a little before that, trying to decide what we could do back then to improve our buildings. We had been told that it would take $250 million to do them right, and we knew there was no way we could do that. So we began putting together a repair program to do some additions, some repairs, and we just about ready to start bidding those. We had some drawings done, and we were about ready to start bidding, and the state came along and, well, they settled a tobacco settlement and moved the Ohio School Facilities program up, and we knew that we were going to be have state money available to us way before we thought we were. In fact, we thought when we originally started, this is about the time we would be getting our money, much less finishing the project. Long story short, we had some legislation changed, gave us credit for the 99 levy. We ended up knowing that we were going to have to increase that bond issue. That was successful in '06, and you're seeing a city full of new schools. There's probably not another in the country. We know there's no other city in the state that has all new buildings. Garfield was renovated, a new freshman school, 8 new elementaries, a new Wilson with some addition from the fire back in the 90s, and a renovated Hamilton High. This school looks new. I mean, Jim, you probably didn't recognize it from the starts of the old Taft High School, and it's been a long, long journey. Lots of meetings, lots of time put in, and we're very proud of it. We hope you are. I need to introduce a few people that I've seen out in the audience that are here tonight. I want to recognize two former Hamilton High principals, Dennis Malone and Tom Alf. I think I saw Tom. There he is. Welcome back. An assistant principal, Paul Burkhart, former principal at Wilson. I don't think there's any other principals. We invited a few of the original 1959 teaching staff, we had, are any of those here? I don't see anyone here. We thought that'd be fun to have one of those representatives here. Jim Steed's here with the original architect for Taft High School. Sort of impressive to see you here tonight, and we thank you for coming. We thank you for your original thoughts. I'm sure your mind is saying, what if I could have been involved with this? That would have been great. He was, okay. Yeah, early on he probably was. When you go back 15 years, I'm sure he was still involved at that particular time. Lots of, I don't think there's any, Jim Carr, I saw him walk in, a former board member. We welcome you, Jim. Thanks for coming tonight. Jim was in the early stages when we were planning the remodeling and the additions back in the mid-90s. When you go through a project like this, you have to have partners. Jim Berkey, standing right there in front of me. I just saw you, Jim. Thanks for coming tonight. Appreciate it. Jim was our liaison between the construction, between Turner Construction, between Steed Hammond and Paul, and was making decisions every day. And we could not have juggled all of these projects without him. And we appreciate you coming tonight. Partners in a project like this are very, very important. We started with a selection of our architect. We did a pretty in-depth, everybody thought that we would just pick Steed Hammond and Paul because they were local. Well, we interviewed and talked to 5 different firms from around the state and did select Steed Hammond and Paul, but it wasn't a gimme. And we appreciate the time we spent with them. I see quite a few different representatives from Steed Hammond and Paul. Todd Thackeray, Mike Dingledine, Cindy Dingledine. Who else is with you, Todd?
Stand on up here. Everybody from SHP, stand up, please.
I can't.
Okay. I knew there was quite a few.
Gary Johnson in back, who did your construction administration.
Right.
Carrie Malatesta in back, interior designer. Brian Hilbert, interior designer on this project. Lauren Delabella, our president. Jody Flagg, a Hamilton High School graduate, and assisted Joni with some of these components. Tony Raw was your project manager. Who else am I missing?
Gary's here, I think.
Yeah, I got Gary. So anyway,
Thank you very much. We've been in this project so long that Steed Hammond and Paul changed their name to SHP Leading Design, but it's the same people. It's the same people. Next, we had to select a construction manager, someone that would be a liaison between us and the state of Ohio. We had picked Turner Construction on the first part of this project. Back in the early 2000s, Turner did a terrific job on what's called the expedited local projects. That's when we were doing Garfield, the freshman school, and the first phase here. They did such a good job. We came in on time and under budget, and we kept soliciting the state, Ohio School Facilities, and they appoint, once we became their full partner, they appoint the construction manager, and they picked Turner to stay with us, and we have had a great relationship. Both Steed Hammond and Paul and Turner will be glad not to have Glenn and I asking them questions all the time, but we spent a lot of time with them. They were very responsive, and we appreciate their work. I see Dave Daniels back there. He was I won't call him supervisor, but he ran the project for Hamilton High for most of the time of this project. I see Steve back there and Tom. Steve is I don't call him the money man, but the guy that keeps track of the money anyway, and the expenses. And Tom was a general manager over all of the projects for this area, and there were other people. Is there anybody else here from Turner, just the 3 of you guys? Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your help. Our financial partner in this was the Ohio School Facilities Commission. We provided about 40%, 39% of the money. They provided the balance, and that's a terrific partner to have. And we've had several different folks as the representative during these past years. Our current person we deal with is Rick Swart, and he'll be speaking here in a moment. Thank you, Rick, for your help in this project. People that probably need the biggest thank you are the students, the staff, and the administration of this high school. We've been building here for 12, 13 years, okay? And that's an inconvenience for anybody. We sincerely appreciate the efforts they had. We had no choice but to build this in phases and still keep the school open. There was no place to, when we did Wilson, we could move them to a couple of old elementaries, but we couldn't do that at the high school, so they had to endure. And that's been a pain. I think it's been well worth it, but we want to thank them for their efforts during that time. Janet Baker thanked us, but her leadership and vision and forcefulness in making this project go has been tremendous. I'm not sure, from talking to some of the folks that work in these projects all over, have ever seen a superintendent or a board as involved as we've been. And she's been at design meeting after design meeting. We've come up with some thoughts. She has been instrumental in changing the looks, whether it be this cafeteria, Wilson's exterior. She said, I don't like that. Let's do something different. And that's been tremendous help to us in getting the finished product. Janet, we want to thank you. Finally, before I move on, I want to thank my good friend Glenn Stitzinger. He and I somehow or another got convinced to be the board representatives on this facility committee. And he and I made the decision 13 years ago that one of us was going to attend every meeting that came about, okay? Whether it's design, it was schematics, it was whatever, one of us was going to be there, and ended up that we were both there most of the time. And our friendship has gotten closer. We've had a few arguments, but we've survived, and I want to thank Glenn. I guess the last person, if I looked at my notes, the last person or people that I need to thank are the voters. That's you, for voting 2 levies in, giving us our share of the money to make all this happen. And we certainly appreciate that. Giving you a little history, this building we want you to walk through tonight, look at all of the changes. That auditorium's beautiful, the gymnasium, the classrooms, the cafeteria, everything, the media center, they're all just amazing. We made the conscious decision when we started that we would do the Hamilton High School basically last. We weren't sure how our money was going to hold and what was going to happen, but we're one of the entities. There's probably not been many entities that were helped by the recession. But because of the recession, we have almost everything we desired in our buildings. There's some things we had to cut, but it's been a good process. Thank you again for coming tonight. I rambled too long, but we're excited. We're excited to have the project over, but we're excited about our new buildings. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. And one of the words that Larry used that we feel strongly about in our school district is partnerships. We know that the job of educating our children today and creating bright futures for them is far beyond anything the school district can do alone. So we have many partners, not only in this facilities partnership, but just in the school district. And it's my pleasure at this time to introduce one of our city partners, Mayor Moeller. There's not a time that we invite Pat to attend something that he doesn't show up. There's not a time that he doesn't stand up, even if he's giving a city address, and talk about his pride and what the new schools and facilities have meant to this community. So he has a vision and a love for children in the same way that we do, and we're proud to call him a partner in education. Pat Moeller.
Good evening. On behalf of the City of Hamilton, City Council, and City Administration, it's really an honor to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, where we are standing right now is economic development for the City of Hamilton. What you see in the brochure is economic development. We in the city promote our city by promoting what we have here with these school facilities. Congratulations and thank you to everyone. Larry already took my list, basically, but I want to say thank you to the citizens and the voters, very much so. You know, Hamilton has a lot of important positives. We celebrate our history and our architecture. We encourage fine arts and music for all ages, and we use our river for development and recreation. But as important, or more important, we in Hamilton value education. And these buildings, the new buildings, the improved buildings, are a big part of that. I want to mention in conclusion that I was at Andy's restaurant on Main Street in Hamilton not too awful long ago. A lot of us know where Andy's is. I walk in there with my brothers and my sister-in-law, and I sit next to Janet Baker and her husband. That caused me to start with pride talking about our Hamilton City schools, because my sister-in-law is a teacher in Texas. So I was bragging to my sister-in-law about our new school facilities, our improved school facilities, and also the fact that we are the National School District of Character. And she was impressed by that. And she's from Texas. And folks from Texas aren't impressed very much, you know. So I'm going to say simply that our Hamilton City School District is bigger and better than Texas. Thank you all.
I think we love hearing that. You know, in school, one of the things that people do a lot is pass notes. And so Larry was sitting across the aisle from me, and he passed a note. And I look at it, and I said, I can't read this. What does it say? He asked me, could I do something? And I said, yeah, as soon as I figure out what this says. So in acknowledging everyone, there was a special person who worked in the district for many years, loves this community, loves our school district, and had a very important part in these new facilities, and that's Dr. Everett Mann. So Everett, you're getting your own recognition here. But I think we're going to have to work on Larry's penmanship. And now again, Larry talked about partners. When I took that trip to Lakota and I looked at what they had, I knew in my heart that it would take a miracle for us to have the same kind of opportunity. And I didn't know where that was going to come from. And as Larry mentioned, the Ohio School Facilities Commission is an entity that understands what great facilities do for teaching and learning, and how they build self-esteem in students, and how they rally the community around the schools. And so our partner from the Ohio School Facilities Commission, who drove down for these many meetings that Larry talked about, you know, always really positive, always looking out for what can we do for Hamilton and how can we make their project be better. So we owe a debt of gratitude to the Ohio School Facilities Commission as an entity, but most importantly, as our project finishes up here, we have Rick Swart with us tonight.
Well, on behalf of everyone at the School Facilities Commission, I want to congratulate you on this beautiful new school. We've gone through some drastic changes recently at the School Facilities Commission. We've merged with the State Architect's Office to become a new agency, the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. But that the School Facilities Commission, the commission itself, remains, and its goal and its mission remains, and that is to provide funding for the renovation and rebuilding of all of the buildings in the state of Ohio. And we're halfway toward the fulfillment of that goal. You know, I've taken over several projects during my time at the state, several difficult projects, and this was not one of those difficult projects. This, in every way, was a success. From my dealings with the district administration, the architect, SHP, you can look at these buildings and the finished product, and you can see the success there. The construction manager Turner kept it all together, kept us, you know, within budget. We're on schedule. Just in every way a success. It made me look good back in Columbus, which my boss says is hard to do. So I want to thank you, everyone, for letting me be involved in this project, and I appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thanks, Rick.
And now for the fun part. This is the final phase that completes over these decades plus. Hamilton High School is the dedication of the auditorium, which we're doing tonight, and we're going to celebrate that with an official ribbon cutting. Get ready. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Officially dedicated. Thanks again for coming and for being a part of this wonderful community celebration with the completion of our master plan.